Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we went back over to Kakariko Village and saw that apparently this evil being was released from the well, somehow. And so in this episode, we are actually going to check out the bottom of the well. And yes, as you can see here, if you probably did see in the last episode what I did, yes, I am back to being Kid Link, and the reason for that is because, in order to get to the bottom of the well, this is actually something that only Child Link can access. Because even though we've been spending so much time as Adult Link, we actually had to start by going to the bottom of the well, and only Child Link or Young Link, for that matter, can be able to access this. And so the reason why that we're down here right now is because, well, technically though, you don't necessarily have to get this item though, because technically you can actually beat the Shadow Temple without the second item. But it is highly recommended because, well, I mean, only the hardcore players didn't really have to get those. So let's talk to this, I'm hearing the spirits whispering in this room. Look for the Eye of Truth. That's what they were saying. So yeah, we had to go into the bottom of the well to look for what is supposed to be called the Eye of Truth. Now, like I said, well, actually, I will say this much, though, that it is a required item to get because, there's actually some kind of a point where we do need the, this kind of Eye of Truth. And, and like I was saying for the next dungeon, because, our next destination is over in the Shadow Temple. Now, of course, you can actually go over there now if you want to, because, basically the hardcore players can actually go over there without said item, so it's not really that much requirement, but it is highly recommended, though, and you are definitely going to want to need this one for, to be able to, make it easier on you, basically, to get easier access, and so that's basically what we're here for, to just get that said item. So because of that, then, yeah, we saw, that apparently, yeah, that monster, was, sealed into the well. Yeah, way to actually just, store in a water supply. I don't know, no wonder your plumbing sucks. But yeah, because, as Adult Link, it's, apparently blocked up by boulders, but then after, but then you go back to the past, and go back to being a Young Link, then, you can actually, just play the song Swords of the Windmill that somehow created some sort of time paradox or something, because we didn't do this beforehand. And so we can be able to access the bottom of the well now. And also another reason is because of all these small little holes that they can crawl into, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but as Adult Link can no longer be able to crawl into these tiny holes. Only Young Link can, so that's why it has all the... It's basically some kind of dungeon that's made for a Young Link. And by the way, just like with the Ice Cavern, this is a mini dungeon, so we can actually just go in there first for the Shadow Temple. That's what we need. So we have this room here. We have these floating limbs here, and oh god, it's grabbing. Oh shit! What the hell is that thing? That's a lot of blood. It's a strange looking zombie. Let's see what it is. This is a dead hand. Watch out for its infinite hands. Aim for its head. So yes, this is dead hand. Ah, yes, everybody knows Dead Hand, right? Yes, Dead Hand. The one monster, the one mini-boss that scared the ever-living shit out of all the 7-year-olds playing this game. And, with that creepy-looking face, it's blood that is plastered all over its body. And definitely one of those kind of instances that really makes you question why this game is ready to eat for everyone in the first place. Yeah, that thing. And, I mean, I guess you could be forgiven as to, that could be the reason why the 3DS version is ready to eat templates, which honestly doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, really. But from what I remember in the 3DS version, they kind of censor the blood a bit, where it's nothing but, these pink splotches on there. Although, I guess they could still be gruesome in a way, because it kind of looks like it kind of does a little bit like those scabs that you get in your skin, so that way they look pinkish. And oh, I do not mean to make this playthrough sound gory, even though this kind of shit is already gory to begin with. So yeah, Dead Hand's that. So yeah, basically what you can do is you can just just slash it away once he lowers his head, and then yeah, that's about it. But because, since we're back to being Young Link, and he has only the Kakariko sword, then, the battle does take a little longer, so, yeah, you kind of miss the Master Sword, or the Big Goron sword in this case, but, we can only use the Kakariko sword. So, now we have the Lens of Truth. So, yeah, that's it. This is the item that we need to get for, before we get into the Shadow Temple. Like I said, well, even though it's a required item for, especially much later on, it is actually recommended to use that for the Shadow Temple, but like I said, you don't really have to get this item if you don't want to. If you're very, very much of a masochist sometimes, but I mean, I always go for the Lens of Truth anyway. So anyway, what Lens of Truth does is that if you press the C button for any kind of corresponding bunny that you equip it to, you can actually you can use that, and then you see this circle that's around it while the rest of the screen is red. You can actually see they're previously invisible. Like, beforehand we saw things that are invisible, or actually some solid walls. Like, you saw those walls from beforehand that somehow we can actually get through, which is something that a lot of the first-time players can never, for the life of them, actually just figure out, and they get frustrated, and they think they've hit a dead end. And so, like, they get so frustrated. Yeah, you can see right here. Like, they get frustrated, and then, you know, they realize that the game is just unwinnable by design because of this wall. But then, they suddenly just go through it, and they're like, oh, don't we feel stupid? Yeah, one of the things you just expect the unexpected. But no, the Lens of Truth, if you use that, then the things that are previously invisible, they become visible to you. Because, you know, previously, you know, through the naked eye, that they be invisible, but those they can see them visibly. And also for those walls that are look like they're solid, but you can actually pass through. If you use the Lens of Truth on those, you can actually see that they disappear, and then you can see where you get through. Now, keep this in mind that you don't want to use the Lens of Truth too long, though, because that actually does eat of your magic. So make sure that you have, you know, at least either a magic potion, or you found other, or any of the magic jars that are dropped from, you know, either from enemy drops, or from cutting the grass, or pots for that matter. Because, yeah, you just don't want to use it for too long, but there's going to be those instances where I'll probably be using it a lot, because, you know, if absolutely need be. Alright, so with the, so now the Lens of Truth out of the way, now by this point, you're mainly just here for the Lens of Truth anyway, because, you know, if you're, because you're not going for like a full-on 100% completion, then, after you get the Lens of Truth, you can actually, leave the bottom of the well if you want to, because after that, then you don't really need to do anything else in the well, so you can just, leave right away. But what I'm going to do, though, is that, as you can see, that I'm actually still going around the well. And because, you know, remember what I said, that that I'm doing 100% completion, yes, that means I'm actually going to be staying in there to get the rest of the gold Skulltulas. Yeah, that's right. There's still going to be gold Skulltulas to collect, so if you're doing 100%, if you want to get all the gold Skulltulas, then now you'll be your chance to actually just go and get all those gold Skulltulas. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now, is just go around there and just fully complete the well, just to get those basically just get those gold Skulltulas, so I just want to get those. But, you know, if you're not doing those, then you can just leave the well if you want to. Or, actually, since, you know, if you get up to 50 gold Skulltulas just for the heart piece, and then after you get all 50, then you can actually just, you know, skip the rest of the well entirely and just leave with the Lens of Truth in hand. So, yeah, that's what we're really here for, but, you know... But, you know, I'm just here to get the, you know, show off the rest of, basically show off the rest of the rooms, because, you know, this is a Let's Play anyway, and I'm going to want to show off the rest of the rooms anyway. To, just for the, and just for the gold Skulltulas anyway. Also, you see this map here, shows, like, some sort of a creepy hand. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to call this the Re-Dead room, because, like, because, you know, I was so afraid of Re-Deads, I tried to avoid this room entirely, but then I realized I had to go back in there anyway to, try to escape from the, dungeon. I was, getting lost there. It does look pretty creepy, though, because, you know, you see the, poisonous water and all the, hands, coming out of there. Yeah. I will say this much, though, that this dungeon and also the Shadow Temple, this is definitely considered to be the creepiest dungeon, but, you know, more on that once we actually get to the Shadow Temple. But for right now, this definitely is one of the creepiest dungeons around here, especially just, you know, going to the very cheerful Kakariko village, and then you're just going to here now. That's apparently it's supposed to be some kind of a torture chamber, if I might add. So yeah. I do want to give off this kind of warning here that, since, like, you know, for one thing, I haven't really played this game much in so long, and so I kind of forgot, like, some of the details about the bottom of the well, because, I mean, you know, for one thing, it's not really so much of a linear dungeon. I mean, well, you know, like I said, it is a mini dungeon, so, so basically you're just here, you know, as, you know, kind of a pre-dungeon kind of thing for the major aspects of it. So that's why I say, oh yeah, watch out for this green bubble. That green bubble will be flying all over the room. You can actually just try to kill it, or actually, as a matter of fact, I think, yeah, as you can see here, it's not doing anything. So if its green fire disappears, you can actually be able to kill it with your slingshot. Oh yeah, I've actually using the slingshot. I missed the bow and arrow already. I gotta say though, it is kind of ironic that, you know, of all the times that we've been playing as Adult Link, and then somehow after what's said and done, then we somehow go back to being a Kid Link, because you know, the game actually, because you know, even after being Adult Link, then you know, you will be going back to being young Link for some instances, because there are some points where it actually is required. This goddamn big Skulltula, god damn, I keep having a miserable time against this guy because of the way he keeps spinning around. But yeah, like I said, there are instances that the game does require you to go back to being a young Link, especially for some certain dungeons where you need to gain access to the next dungeons. Because, you know, even the dialogue itself tells you that you'll have to be going back and forth through time. So that's actually one of those instances. So yeah, it does come off as a way, like, which is kind of strange and ironic, but you know, I guess kind of feels nice being back to young Link. Am I right? Oh, man, I'm already saying this now, and like, you know, being in my 20s right now, I really do feel like I want to go back to being a kid. Also, I do want to apologize that, as you can see here, there is going to be a bunch of slowdown, and, you know, for how much this game is chugging. Chugga, 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 chugga. I'm going to be saying this a lot as the game lags. Yeah, there's a lot of slowdown going around, and please, keep this in mind, folks, that I am not playing this game off of an emulator. I really am playing this off my console, my original game cartridge. And I mean, you know, if I was playing on an emulator, then you'll probably see some weird shit going on, like with like, you know, how some certain things are not being loaded properly, like on like Link's icon in the gear subscreen. Like, it's being shown off, so that's how you can probably tell that I am actually playing this off my N64 console, and I'm using my I'm using my capture device. So yeah, I assure you guys, I'm not playing this off an emulator, and yet even then, you see that there's still slowdown involved, and for how much this game chugs. So I think it's because that I don't know. I think they did manage to push the limits of the N64 for this game. And I guess, you know, all the more reason why that Majora's Mask actually does require an expansion pack because of shit like this. Anyway, so, yeah, I do want to... I was going to say there, folks, that I am going to be running around quite a bit, though, because it's going to look like I'm a little lost here, because I forgot some aspects about the bottom of the well. So, yeah, because of that, I kind of run around a bit, and then I kind of get a little lost on where I need to go, because like, there's not really any particular order to find those gold Skulltulas, and there's only 3 gold Skulltulas in this dungeon. So, because of that, like, I'm basically just trying to go all over the place, trying to find those different rooms for each of those gold Skulltulas. Oh, once you're in this room, make sure you equip the Hylian shield, because there's these fire keys. So quickly switch over that, because, you know, since we're back to using the Deku shield, and, you know, remember those things are flammable. So, against here, there's these fire-based enemies like these keys here, and I just got burned by those, so if I hadn't been lucky, or if I hadn't remembered to switch over to the Hylian shield, then my Deku shield would have been gone, and I had to buy it back over to the Kokiri shop. Actually, as a matter of fact, from what I remember, if it does get burned, and if you open this chest, then you actually get another Deku shield. But otherwise, then yeah, you probably have to go back to the shop in Kokiri Forest for new Deku shield. Because at least there are supplies for that in a little bit. Oh, yeah, watch out for that light that's right there. Yeah, be very careful once you enter this room. This light just gets, like, too close of a range here. That could very much easily eat your shield, and the Deku Nets didn't work. Anyways, yeah, so I do apologize if I go over the place and act like I'm a little lost, because, like, because I forgot some aspects of the place, and so I was trying to, like, find my way around at the bottom of the well. So, and, you know, I didn't really want to cut things off, because I didn't want you guys to get too lost, you know, especially those of you who are using this video as a guide. So, you know, I just want to make sure that that you guys can actually just follow this playthrough, well, just through. Sounds like saying the word through twice. Anyways, another gold Skulltula for us. It's too bad we can't really one-shot them either, because, like, you know, it was so cool as adult Link that we are, because of stronger weapons, and then we were able to one-shot these gold Skulltulas. But now, back to being a young Link, now we can only do those in 2 hits. But I think that should be a couple more gold Skulltulas, unless there's one more there, because like, there's a couple more rooms that I haven't covered yet, and there's just one major room, because I know one of them has a small key around here. I gotta say this much, though, that you know, I guess you could say that the bottom wall is kind of a sneak peek preview of the Shadow Temple, because it does have the same kind of aesthetics and kind of you know, theme for the Shadow Temple itself. So you know, I guess basically, you know, the game's own way of telling you of what's to come for later. I mean, that's just the way I see it. So, but you know, yeah, it's a very creepy dungeon, I would say. You know, it's like I don't know. You just go back from this heavy town of Kakariko Village to this kind of thing. Like talk about mood whiplash. This game is full of it. I'll have to say this much. So yeah. I do want to say in the last episode, like this fucking Skulltula right there. I swear to God, I was trying to go around this guy, but then I guess I was a little too close range, and I grew a little careless, and so I just kept getting hit by that Skulltula. So you do want to be careful of that. So I do apologize if you've been seeing that quite a lot here. Seriously. Oh, actually, before I go on though, I think this is actually how Link was able to release that shadow monster from the well, because by getting the Lens of Truth, and that's what caused this whole thing in Kakariko Village to begin with. So yeah, nice job, Link. Yeah, first letting Ganondorf into the Sacred Realm after pulling the Master Sword, and then there's this shit. Yep, second mistake here. Also, we have a new enemy, a returning enemy here, Gibdo. Its gaze will paralyze you if it bites you. It's happening. Oh yeah, so yeah, the Gibdos right here. They are returning from Zelda 1, and they are actually just like the Redeads in this game, where they will actually paralyze you. They'll stun like you for a brief moment after their scream, and then what happens is that you know, they will, just like them, they'll grab onto you and then they'll bite you and drain your health. So be careful of those as well. And then yeah, just like the Redeads, they can be stunned while if you play the Sun Song, and then you can just attack them like that. Now for this puzzle, you use the Deku sticks, and then you just light the torches. And for each one of them, you can actually open up those coffins, and they'll contain something. We want to open up this coffin though, because that one contains the small key that we need to get. The other ones will contain either some hearts, magic jars, or they can also contain either keys or another Gibdo. So you want to be careful just not opening up those. So yeah. We should be just about almost done with it, because I think there might be just one more gold Skulltula left to find, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Well, if I haven't really paid much attention to the video. So, I do want to say that the last episode that I did, I should have talked about this from previously, but like in that last episode, I actually took like 3 recording attempts, and the reason for that is because there were interruptions that occurred. A couple of those because one of them was actually because like there was a thunderstorm from beforehand, and like I had to avoid trying to record, you know, just in case you know, a blackout happens. But then the thunderstorm was kind of simmering down a bit, so I thought it'd be safe enough to actually just go ahead and just get the recording out of the way. Oh yeah, there's the last goal. So after this one, then we should be done with the bottom of the well right about now. Actually, oh wait, no, that's not. I think that's the last one. Was there? Hang on. Because I think I did check to see if I got all the gold Skulltulas. I think that was number 3 though. Yeah, there should be all 3 then, because I saw there that I cut this one apart because I was a little lost. But I think it's because I was looking for that one last room where that oh wait, no, I was wrong. Shit. Okay, so there's not 3 gold Skulltulas. I think there's actually 4 gold Skulltulas, because I didn't see that icon that was there. So so this is actually where I start to get a little lost and wonder where that last room was before getting to that last gold Skulltula. So I was just going around in circles and just trying to figure out where that Skulltula was. So that's actually where I cut this part, or edited this part out to where I could actually find the last one to see where it was. And it should be behind that locked door that's right there. So yeah, that's where it was. So yeah, turns out I think there was actually 4 of those, if I'm counting right, I believe. I don't know. It's hard for me to remember the counts for those. But yeah, there's the last one, and so after that, then we should be done with the bottom of the well. So yeah, that's actually kind of where I got lost. And I had to look up a guide to see where that last one was. So anyway, like I was saying, so when the thunderstorm was simmering down, that's when I figured it was safe enough. So I tried doing one of those recording attempts, and then all of a sudden, then that's like while I was doing the trying to go through the bottom of the well, that's when suddenly the power cut off. Actually, no. I was thinking of this episode. No, my bad. I meant the last episode. Yeah, the last episode was when I was doing that frog minigame in Zora's River. Yeah. So while I was doing that, that's when the power cut off somehow. Like there was a power outage, and so because of that, everything turned off, and so I had to do the whole recording session all over again. So yeah. To those of you who are probably doing the same thing, like doing recordings, you want to be careful not to do recordings like during a thunderstorm, because you may never know if there would be a power outages, and then it would delete your progress as well. So you want to be careful with that. Anyway, folks, so now we have all the gold Skulltulas that's been killed. Like I said, you know, after getting the Lens of Truth, then you can just leave the well right away if you want to, because you don't have to worry about anything else. But now that we got all those out of the way, as for the sake of doing 100% completion, then we are finally done with the well, and so now the Lens of Truth, we can actually go back to being Adult Link and head over to the Shadow Temple. Before we do that, though, yeah, I know I'm showing off that I'm going back over to the Temple of Time, but I'm actually not gonna go and pull the Master Sword again just yet, though, because there's one more thing that we're gonna want to do, and that kind of a little particular thing is for the Lens of Truth as well. There's a little mini game that we haven't even gotten to in the Hyrule Castle town. And for that one, like, you can actually do that right away if you want to, but it's very luck-based. But if you have the Lens of Truth, this actually should be a total cakewalk. And so, so now that we have the Lens of Truth, then we can actually go over to that this one building that's over there. And as you can see, keep in mind that this you can only access this during the nighttime, because during the day it will actually be closed somehow. But at night, then you can be able to go into this little mini game here. And this is called the Treasure Box Shop. Now, I think for what we saw in the for one of the gossip stones by the Temple of Time, I was saying that it's illegal to use glasses in the treasure chest mini game. And so what they mean by that is that by the Lens of Truth, because for this mini game, so what you have to do is that you see there's these two treasure chest boxes. Now, if you don't have the Lens of Truth, it's completely luck based, and you actually have to use your best guess to see where the small key is, because that's where you want to go after, is the small key. Because if you get those, then you can gain access to the next room. If you get a chest that contains a rupee, then the game's over, and you just get that kind of prize, and so you basically have to start all over again. Now, now that we have the Lens of Truth, though, then if you use that, then the treasure chest will turn invisible, and then you can actually see what's inside those chests. So basically, we can actually just cheat our way through. So that way there can actually be a total cakewalk. And so that's actually what you're going to want to do if you want to get that heart piece, because that's what the final prize is the heart piece. Now, even though they say that, or the Gospel Stone says that it's actually against the rules to use the Lens of Truth, in this case, glasses, in this kind of minigame. Well, guess what, folks? Even though you are using it right now and therefore breaking the rules, you actually won't get penalized for this at all. Yeah, I'm actually right about this, because, like, because with the Gospel Stone saying like that, it's only like in name only, where like you can actually still use Lens of Truth, and you won't get disqualified at all for cheating. So yeah, you can actually just go through there, and then you get a heart piece, and so there we go. So yeah, that's actually what you want to do. Then yeah, I'm speeding this up here because you actually just have to go all the way out to the entrance. So that's why I'm just speeding this up here, just for the sake of just making sure this video doesn't really drag on for too long. But yeah, that's basically what the treasure chest shop entails, and that is that you can actually just just use Lens of Truth, and then you can just make your way through. It's a total cakewalk if you do this. But yeah, so you don't have to worry about this too much though, because like I said, you won't get penalized for that. You won't get disqualified for cheating, because they actually still let you do that anyway. So it actually does feel pointless to just for the Gossip Stones to actually just say stuff like that. But it's something that you really want to do. In fact, it's if you really want to go after that heart piece, then you absolutely have to use the Lens of Truth, because, like I said, without it, it's completely luck based. So anyway, now with everything else said and done, so let's go ahead and repull the Master Sword and travel back over to the future. Yeah, back to the future, right?
Great Scott!
But yeah, so now we have the Lens of Truth, and I would say that let's go back over to being Adult Link once again, and we're strong once again. And so now we can go and head back over to the graveyard, and so that way there we can gain access to the Shadow Temple, our next dungeon in the game. So let's go and play the Nocturne of Shadow and just head on over there. Which, you know, is a nice little shortcut over to Kakariko Village, which, you know, we just now learned, so we can just be able to head over there now. I don't know why you couldn't learn that early in the game. Alright, folks, so we're right here now, and then the Shadow Temple is just right over this way, and then we'll just, so we'll be heading over there for the next episode. So yeah, next time on Let's Play Ocarina of Time, we're going to just head in there, and then, you know, like I've repeated myself, we'll go and start the Shadow Temple. So, I will see you guys then.